Hey everyone, my name is Brendan. Today I'm going to be showing you an Excel dashboard that I made on some real estate data for the past fiscal year in the metro area. Alright, so first off I want to be able to show you that I got all my data right here on NYC Department of Finance. They have a rolling sales data for the past year. You could download any borough right here. And it all comes readily available. I'll show you what it comes like in a beautiful chart like this. It's all sectioned out, easy to sort through, and is very easily readable. Okay, so for the premise of this dashboard, I want to say that we are going to pretend that we own a small business and we would like to open it somewhere in the 5 boroughs. So the first thing that we would want to look at is how much we could really profit off a rental area in any of the 5 boroughs. So let's say, for argument's sake, we're opening a small CPA firm, which would most likely require us to have an office. So as you can see right here, these are throughout the 5 boroughs, what kind of profit you'll be seeing per square foot in the 5 boroughs. And if you want to go even further, we could just click on office here, and we could see that the profit in the offices in Manhattan is a lot higher than some of the profit in the other areas. It's because the average income for these areas is a lot higher due to some of the outliers of millionaires that are making tons of money every day in Manhattan. But for argument's sake, let's say that we want to own an office space in Manhattan. It should be a little bit different than the values you see over on the left side, because these are all 5 boroughs and this one is just Manhattan. So now going to decide where you want to have an office, that is something else. So these 2 charts here show total units sold by neighborhood in Manhattan and total residential and commercial sales by neighborhood in Manhattan. Now the reason I split it up this way is so that you could see maybe some type of trend that's going on in an area. As you can see here, Harlem Central on both sides, this should be equal for total units sold for that area. So as you can see here, Harlem Central, there's almost no commercial units being sold in this area. If we click out of that filter, and you see on the graph over here, there's a little blue mark that says fashion. Now that seems like a little bit of an outlier. We'll click on that. You see there's a lot of commercial units being sold in that area, which might infer that there's a lot of business going on in that area. Going forward, another thing that you want to look at is how much money you could actually be getting off of your property that you're buying. So this chart below shows the average gross square foot compared to average sales price. So basically, how much you're paying for your property compared to how much space you're going to be getting for it. So typically, Midtown is a very business-oriented area. As you can see here, Midtown CBD, the average sale price is all the way up here, but the average square footage is down here, as compared to the Javits Center area that is known for more industrial usage, that they're getting a lot more square footage for their money than in other areas. The average sales price compared to gross square foot will give you an idea about what you might be getting into in that neighborhood, and among other things. Next, looking at the total units for each area, this can show you over the past year what the average sales price is for these areas. So you can just see what the most expensive areas are, what's more in your price range if you're buying this office spot compared to renting it. Continuing on, let's see. Okay, so right here we have this chart over here shows the sum of the average price per square foot compared to the sum of units sold. So basically, what this graph on the right here is showing you is how many units were sold in the red, the more popular areas, compared to the price per square foot. So the blue line down here is showing you the price per square foot, which might be astronomical like over here, and there are not many units sold, or it could be really cheap and a lot of units are sold, as you can see here. Now, I have to admit there are some outliers in this graph due to big lots that are acquired. As you can see over here, Roosevelt Island, there was just an acquiring of a large lot there to build a Cornell College campus, and I'm sure the sales price on that threw this off, because as you can see, the number of units sold down here is very low compared to the average price for the area. Okay, another thing that you might want to be looking at when trying to find a new place to open your business would be the change in the market value over the last year. What this might show you typically would be kind of the popular areas people are moving to, up and coming neighborhoods. Avoiding these areas that might have a large market change could be beneficial to you. Okay, a little bit of info about the market change. To find this data, I got a lower bound and an upper bound of percentage change in the market value for each neighborhood. I took those two lower and upper bounds and I averaged them, and then every area has their own market value change. If you click on some of the bigger market value change, you can see that Harlem Central over here has a value of 7,624 units being sold in the last year, with a 10% increase in the market value. What this might mean is that it's a very gentrified area. There's a lot of people moving in and out, making the neighborhood a little bit nicer possibly. I don't have a sales price for what it would have been previously, but you can imagine that it's 10% higher now. If you want to open an office, let's say, in a cheaper area that hasn't really been sold that often recently, the market value has only changed 2% in the past year. And let's say look, Midtown West, there's 3,598 units being sold in the last year, which is a decent amount of units, but there's only a market value change of about 3%. That might be a great area to open a business. Another thing this might show you is average sales price compared to the average market value as well. So once again, if I click on the large market value change over here, this will show you that the average sales price in areas changes as well. Now, there are also outliers on this graph, because the average sales price in Washington Heights lower is probably not this much, but there is a lot of development going on in the area, and that might factor into the fact that why the average sales price is so high. In some of these more up-and-coming areas like Little Italy, you can see that your average sales price is pretty high compared to the market value change. And if you click on a lower area, like so here, you can see that the average sales price for some of these areas like Midtown East, Roosevelt Island, and Midtown West, these might be some of the best areas to buy your business, because when you're signing a lease, you're only forecasting maybe the next 2 years. But if you have an option in, let's say, an area that has a 10% market value change to sign a 10-year lease, you would probably be inclined to do that, because you know that the area is changing rapidly and that a lot of people are coming in and out, driving the prices up of the areas around you and possibly bringing more business into you. Especially, like I said, as a CPA, you want more people to be coming in. Now, this dashboard can be used for multiple of other things. It will show a range of different areas, a number of different commercial versus residential homes, and a lot of different data and stats that could be comparable for a lot of people. Alright, I hope you enjoyed this video and that you could use this dashboard for something useful too. Thank you.